Hey, what's up guys? It's Tip. A couple of days ago, private Twitch streamer and Cloud9 affiliate Shroud brought up Classic WoW on his live stream, and he had this to say.
I hope they make Classic WoW not just what it is now. I hope they fix it, make it better, tweak some classes, balance some classes. I'm gonna be really mad if it's a copy-paste.
Now, for those who may not know, Shroud has been a Classic WoW advocate for quite some time, even going so far as to advertising a Warcraft private server on his stream in the presence of a Twitch mod. That's technically a bannable offense. So hearing Shroud make these comments was a bit shocking to say the least, but honestly, I'm not too surprised. You see, Shroud isn't the first high-profile Classic WoW advocate to request changes to vanilla. Just after Classic was announced at BlizzCon back in November, Soupasoka, who is number 3 on my list of the top 10 individuals who made Classic WoW possible, stated on the Allcraft podcast that he wanted the entire vanilla PvP system to be scrapped in Classic and replaced by TBC arenas. We're talking about Soupasoka here, the man who literally went on a months-long public crusade to bring attention to the legacy movement. And if that doesn't shock you, this next one will. Kungan. That's right, Kungan. The longtime vanilla champion and former leader of Vanilla World First Guild Nihilum has also expressed his concordance with vanilla WoW changes, stating on stream that he's okay with small changes like graphical updates. So what does this mean for Classic WoW? Well, a lot more than you might think. You see, up until Shroud's comments last week, a defining purist talking point against change advocates has been some derivative of the following statement. If you want changes, go back to retail, you filthy casual. Now obviously that point falls flat on its face when polar opposites of casual, like Shroud and Soda, announce that even they want changes to vanilla. All of a sudden, the revisionist argument is somewhat legitimized. But if you're a purist, I think you'll be happy to hear that Shroud and Soda aren't the only gaming personas weighing in on the issue. Popular World of Warcraft streamer and YouTuber Asmongold has expressed his solidarity to the No Changes movement, perhaps most famously with this epic speech during a live stream.
There are people out there that want to change the game. They want to make it different. They want to do things just a little bit different. Oh, maybe I just want Group Finder. Hey, my gear doesn't match. Maybe I'll just transmog this helmet. F you. You're gonna wear that pink helmet and you're gonna like it.
And he's not alone. Longtime Vanilla WoW player and Classic WoW advocate Alexensual, a man who has more experience in vanilla than Ben and Jerry, has been vocally adamant about keeping vanilla pure, only tolerating changes that existed during the lifespan of the game from 2004 up until the launch of the Burning Crusade. With Asmongold and Alex on one side and Shroud and Soda on the other, it's quite clear that even Classic WoW advocates are split on the issue. Before I get to my personal opinion on changes in Classic, I just want to highlight something real quick. Not all change advocates are filthy casuals, and conversely, not all purists are stubborn neckbeards who can't let go of the past. People have different opinions for different reasons. I hope that by mentioning this, we can humanize the opposition to our opinions and talk about this issue in a calm and respectable manner. Let's save the energy and toxicity for Baron's chat, because God knows we'll need it then. But with that said, let me begin by breaking down the major talking points of each position before I reach my conclusion. Let's start off with the pro-changes or revisionist position. Most revisionists foster the opinion that Vanilla WoW was not perfect. And to be honest, they're absolutely right. Most specs were imbalanced, the PvP system was terrible, and the game should have had guild banks. These points are almost universally accepted as fact, even among purists. So given the fact that we can almost unanimously agree to a number of Vanilla's flaws, why not take the opportunity to smooth out some of its rougher edges in Classic? Seems like a slam dunk point, right? Well, not exactly. You see, the outcome of any change, even a seemingly small one, is unpredictable. Sure, we might be able to hypothesize the possible impact something like AoE looting might have on the game experience, but we'll never know the true impact until the feature is implemented. That's why video games are so difficult to design. The end user experience isn't determined logically, it's determined emotionally. There are plenty of features and concepts that may sound great on paper and could possibly solve some of Vanilla's problems, but ultimately neither you, nor I, nor Blizzard will ever know until those features are actually present in-game. Let me give you an example. The looking for dungeon tool back in Wrath of the Lich King probably sounded like the perfect idea on paper. Seriously, in theory, the LFG system is an excellent way to connect players with content, bolster social experiences, and could catalyze the emergence of sub-communities within the game. I can imagine that back in 2009, the cold logic of Blizzard developers deemed the feature a godsend to the game. But as my late friend Ronan will tell you, cold logic does not account for human emotion. Due to this emotion, what was probably hypothesized to be one of the greatest WoW features on paper turned out to be disastrous for the game in practice. Now, this isn't a video criticizing the LFG tool, so don't get too hung up on that example. The point is, we as human beings have no means of empirically calculating the effect small changes could have on the delicate balance of vanilla without seeing them implemented first. If we did possess such powerful insight, we would literally be seeing thousands of perfect games on the market. And so long as we're mortals, this lack of omniscience means that any and every potential change, no matter how small it may seem, is a terrible risk that could backfire just as easily as the LFG tool did. And given that most of us agree that while vanilla was not perfect, it was certainly enjoyable, why would we risk its pleasurability with any change at all? It's a point I've seen many purists bring up, but it's not the most common one. The most common argument you'll find criticizing changes to vanilla WoW is the quote, slippery slope argument, more accurately described as precedent setting. I'm not going to get into the semantics of the two, but essentially the argument is that if any non-native change is made to vanilla WoW, such a change could be referenced later on as a precedent to justify another potential change of equal or greater impact. To be honest, this is not an outlandish assessment. Precedence is literally the foundation of debate and common law, and predominantly used as the basis of establishing consistent rulings. I can absolutely see a preceding change being cited by the community or Blizzard to justify more changes in the game if desired. There's really no debating this point, which is probably why the only rebuttals I've seen have involved the semantics of the phrase slippery slope, which to me is irrelevant. By now, you can probably see where my conclusion is heading. But I don't want this video to just be Tip's opinion on changes. I'd rather it be used to push the conversation forward. I personally believe that regardless of whether you identify as a revisionist, a purist, or a Wolfkin attack helicopter, there are still plenty of vanilla WoW features we can discuss without compromising our positions. So I've got a proposition for all of us. Let's replace that time we spend vilifying each other with time spent discussing the following more interesting topics. Number 1, boss tuning. Number 2, dynamic respawns for launch day. Number 3, server population. Number 4, server transfers. Number 5, boss deboss slots. Number 6, world boss kiting. Number 7, dishonorable kills. Number 8, battle.net integration. Number 9, cross-faction friends list. And number 10, AQ war effort supply quantities. These are pretty significant topics that I rarely see being discussed online. I'd love for all of us to spend some time thinking about them and posting our thoughts to r/classic_wow, MMO Champion, or whatever platform you see fit. Constructive feedback is what's going to make or break Classic WoW, so let's do our best to contribute in the most productive way we can. We know Blizzard is listening, so why not speak up? Now for those 1 or 2 of you who tuned in exclusively to hear my opinion on the changes debate, yes, I am a purist. I believe that changes to Classic that didn't occur during the lifespan of vanilla could have unintended consequences on the integrity of the game. I believe that accepting even a single non-endemic change could potentially open the door to other more significant changes. And perhaps most importantly, I believe that the wishes of the hundreds of thousands of people that came together to make Classic WoW possible should be respected, and that Classic WoW preserve the legacy of the game we fell in love with and want to experience again. But hey, I'm just one neckbeard among millions. The true direction of vanilla will be decided by your voices. Whatever your preferences or beliefs, all I ask is that you remain active in the upcoming months as more feedback is solicited by Blizzard. Let's make Classic WoW the best game possible. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and if you did, sub it up and stick around because we got more coming. For Classic WoW news and updates, you can follow me on Twitter via the link in the description. Enjoy your day, guys, and as always, tips out, baby.